When is it too late to switch careers? And I know some of you are coming on here thinking, she's gonna start this video or say in this video that it is never too late to switch careers. You can do it at any point, and that is just, we can beep out all the words here. Which honestly, you're not going to get in this video. You will not get that there is never a wrong time to switch careers, because the reality is there is wrong times to switch careers. And there is a point where maybe it is too late to switch into a different career. In this video, I'm going to explain to you really how to navigate switching careers, what to look for and expect, and also to when is it too late? When is it the wrong time to maybe switch careers? Before we get into it though, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tech, coding, career, all that good stuff, related content. Leave down in the comments any questions, feedback, comments in the comments, anything that comes to mind, I guess. I'm responding to all your comments. I love you all. All right, enough of that. Let's get into it. There are three main things that people face when they are even considering getting into tech or really any other industry, or if you're already working in tech, maybe moving into a completely different role. These things, can you guess what they are? The first one being time and money. There's no surprise here. As we get older, a lot of times it means more responsibilities, which means less time towards learning and upskilling. Also too, if you are thinking about switching into a completely different role or career, what also might happen is you need to put money towards that time of learning. So it could be going to a boot camp, taking a certification, and that time kind of equates to money in the sense that more time you're putting towards that, it's more money because even if you're not directly paying out of pocket, you could be doing something else. So that's a big first pillar. The second thing people face is ageism. Okay, you can make the time, you do have the money, you can switch into this career, but what is it going to look like? Are you going to face a bunch of people saying, oh, you're too old to work in this industry, you're working with a bunch of 20-year-olds and you're, further along in your career journey? What does that look like, and is that going to be enjoyable? And the third being, are you going to be in demand? You are switching into this career. It's a risk. Are you going to be in demand? What happens? I mean, with AI, especially nowadays, it seems as though one job one day is in demand and the next day it's gone. What does that look like with you putting all your energy and resources towards this, and will it pay off? These three pillars we are going to dive into and really talk about if it is actually worth it for you to switch careers. Now, something that really doesn't help with ageism in the world of tech, and especially when it comes to switching careers, starting your own business, is that we really celebrate young founders. I mean, think Mark Zuckerberg with, oh, he created this great idea, Facebook, or helped create it in college, and it happened so young, and you're billionaires by the time you're 30, and if you're not a billionaire by your 30, why even try? That's kind of the mentality that the media puts on us, and it's hard to not get sucked into that. A really good example though, and I actually didn't know this, was Jeff Bezos. Do you know how old he was when he started Amazon? He was 30. Now that's still very young, I'm not saying otherwise, but imagine when you're 30 years old, or being 30 years old, having quite a good career on Wall Street and a lot of connections, and you're in a good groove, you're married, completely switching into something else, taking the risk to start your own business. I mean, thank goodness he did. Look what it is today. But 30 isn't young. 30 isn't what the media, in the sense that what the media celebrates to be young, meaning they want people who are 19, 20, 21 founding their own businesses. And that goes the same for when is it too late to switch into your careers. Not saying that it's 30 or you're done, but rather look at it as there have been so many success stories of people who have completely done 180s into different careers at a later stage in life than when they are in their early 20s. Now, on the flip side, there's a lot of people who have made or tried to make this switch and failed. What makes it that some people can succeed into making these career switches and some people can't? Let's dive into that. The first thing is you need to have a supportive community around you. And this doesn't have to be a community of 10 or 20 people. When I say community, I mean people that you interact with on a daily or weekly basis. They need to really support you and believe in what you're doing. Well, let me rephrase that. They don't even need to believe in what you are doing, but they need to at least encourage you. For example, imagine if Jeff Bezos, who was married at the time that he started Amazon, imagine if his wife at the time, Mackenzie, she was super miserable saying to him, you can't start this, don't do this. I mean, he probably after a while would have just quit, because even though Amazon feels like an overnight success, it wasn't. And he needed his partner to be there supporting him every step. That is the same for you. I mean, whether it's starting a business or switching into careers. You need to ensure that the people you are surrounded with really support you, because there are going to be times where it feels like this will never happen, like you really want to give up. And if you have a partner, friend, whatever the case is, that is not supporting you, that you interact with on a daily basis, it's gonna make it very difficult for you to successfully make that transition. Another being, you really need to differentiate between motivation and discipline. We've spoken about this in a few other videos, but if you are purely going on, you are motivated to make this career switch and transition into a high-paying engineering role from being something completely different, if you're solely focusing on motivation for that, you are going to fail. Motivation isn't enough. You need to be disciplined, because more often than not, after you start this journey, there are gonna be so many days that you don't want to continue. And the only thing that will keep on pushing you forward is through discipline. Sticking to the schedule you have created, learning a little bit every day, every second day, whatever that schedule looks like, but not making excuses. The other thing you will have to do when you are going through this career change, or evolution if you will, is you need to ensure you are networking. And I know this is a hard thing for many people to do, but you need to be putting yourself out there, connecting with others, more importantly, connecting with others that have had or gone through similar experiences as you. They might have been into or gone through role changes completely different than what you are about to do, but still having gone through that experience, that you can relate to them and they can relate to you, give you advice and guidance as to what to expect. As you get older, there are some things in life that get a lot easier. On the flip side, there are things that get a lot harder. Switching careers is one of those. However, I do really believe that now is probably the easiest time to switch careers than it's ever been before, thanks to having so many great resources online and the ability to learn through free resources online. That being said though, it doesn't make it completely a walk in the park. It is difficult. Imagine you are in your late 30s, 40s, 50s even, or beyond, and you want to switch careers. We have seen this done over and over again, but you need to have that perseverance to do so, because many factors might come at play. One being, you might even have to be set back from your compensation to begin with in order to really move forward beyond what you are currently making. And you need to be in a situation where you have saved up for that, or you're comfortable with taking that risk. I thought I would share though a personal story about this, as I was someone who I switched careers, but it wasn't necessarily experiencing ageism, because I did so in my 20s, early 20s. But what I did experience was my first job, my boss was actually younger than me, just by about 2 years. So it really wasn't a big difference. But at the time, it felt like such a big difference. And I remember being like, this is so embarrassing. What am I doing? He is younger than me. And then I realized, who cares? Like, really, who cares? The fact that I am here and going after what I want, I should be commending myself. But it was definitely something that you have to get used to at first, is understanding. And I'm sure throughout my career, because I am someone who likes to change and evolve, I hope I have bosses younger than me, in the sense there's so much you can still learn from people who are younger than you, that don't let, just like we are fearful of having ageism put on us, maybe switching careers at a later point in life, don't then in turn put that ageism on someone who is younger than you, who might be in a higher or more senior role than you. That's just something to really think about. I think we don't realize that maybe we sometimes are the ones putting back that ageism on others as well. Ageism is real. It happens every day. No one is saying otherwise, but try and look at it from their point of view as well and see what that uncovers. But sometimes it's tough. I never want, though, that to be a reason you don't go after what you want. I think at the end of the day, the purpose, and I hope what you take away from this video, is that it is going to get harder to switch roles as you get older, but it's not impossible. I mean, to certain degrees. Don't try and become a rocket scientist, you know, in your 50s. It might require going back to school for a long time, but who knows? You never know. Anything is possible. What I'm saying though is evolution is a good thing. Evolving into other roles is a really big positive, especially in today's day and age. The skills you can take from one role will really apply into other areas or other roles more than you even realize. That's what I've experienced anyways. Curious to hear, have you always been on the straight and narrow career path? Have you had some pivots? If you have, leave in the comments. I mean, for myself, I went from modeling, fashion, graphic design, front-end development, back-end development, to developer relations. It's been a wild ride, and everything has been threaded throughout that though, which is really interesting. There's always been this kind of underlying consistency of bringing these experiences with me as I go. And that's something that you can do as well. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, this pep talk about why you should just go after what you want, and I will see you all soon. Thanks everyone.